just want to apologize to the university, to my coaches, and to my teammates. I'm not a me person, but in that situation, that was a selfish act, and that's not how you do things around here. So I really want to apologize to my teammates because I have now made a selfish act for them, and that's all.
Once again, you have a statement from the university, you have a statement from Jameis. At this point, if you have football questions, we'll take those. We're not going to answer any other questions, though.
Jameis, what have you seen on tape with Clemson? Last year, you guys were able to beat them real good, but what have you seen from them that you think could be their success this year?
They're a good team again, but when you're playing against ACC competitors, it's basically a rivalry game in this conference. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna do what we need to do.
What about the fact that you're not going to play in the first half? How big a difference could that make? Is this a losable game for Florida State University?
You got to overcome adversity, and that's one thing at Florida State we do. We're gonna overcome adversity, and when I do get my opportunity to play, I'm gonna do everything that I can because I have to accept that. That's gonna eat me up because I want to be out there on the field. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be out there on the field with my team, but I did something, so I gotta accept my consequences. And I'm gonna apologize to my team. So we're not gonna think about that because we don't think about negative things. We're gonna think about moving forward and winning the game.
James, you had great success against them last year. When you look at the film this year of their defense, what do you see that's different and what do you see that's the same?
The difference is they got some different players, but as I'm all the way at Florida State, our opponent has no face. Obviously, they have a great team, but if we play Florida State football, we have a good chance of winning this game.
Jameis, you spoke a lot this offseason about how the last year has matured you. Do you feel you've taken a little bit of a step back in that way now?
Like I said, we're going to ask a question about the Clemson game. He's already addressed those kind of issues, and so is the university. So if you have questions about football, we'll take those questions.
James, what's your confidence level with Sean McGuire and how you think he can do in the first half?
Sean's gonna do great. I just take Sean a little while ago because me and Sean are gonna do some quality film. Work after practice because I know that I made not a mistake. I messed up. And I gotta accept the fact that I did that. Like I said, it eats me alive, man. That I did something like that. I can't carry myself that way. And me and Sean, we gonna watch film. We're gonna do what we do, and I'm gonna try my best to still put our team in a good chance to win this game because I know they got my back.
Jameis, there's going to be a lot of attention here, obviously today. Anyway, there's national attention for the university. You're defending their title. ESPN Game Day is going to be here on Saturday, and they're certainly going to talk about why you're not going to be playing in this game in the first half. What about, you talked about we don't focus on negative attention, but the university is going to get some negative attention.
James already addressed that when he opened it up. We're going to take questions about football. If we keep going off the topic of football, that'll be it for today.
Jameis, it almost seems like the tables have turned from last year. You guys came in as a team that people weren't really sure who you were, and they thought Clemson was that team. How do you guys come into this game as hungry as last year?
Well, we always come in the game with a chip on our shoulder because we know everybody out to beat us. We Florida State, we are the defending champions. But at the end of the day, we have to play Florida State football to become successful because this is a team, and just like anybody else on our schedule, they come out there, they're going to play their best game, and we got to bring it.
Yeah, let's talk about the development of your receivers now. You worked more of them in against Citadel than you did in the first game, and are they ready for this?
Of course. I believe our young guys, that's one thing a trait that our young guys have is that they're game guys. And obviously we got to build our practice habits and we got to do things to develop them into being all-around players. But I believe they're going to do a great job of stepping up to the plate and having a great game.
How have you seen Sean develop as his time here?
Well, since me and Sean been together here, we came in the same class, and he's been working his tail off. And I respect Sean. The team around him respects Sean, and Sean's gonna do a great job. And like I said, I'm gonna make sure that he does a great job because me and him gonna go to work.
Jameis, we've talked to some of the defensive guys, and they've mentioned the offensive scout team and how they helped them. What are some of the things that you guys have seen from the defensive scout team?
Well, you know, I had a meeting with the defensive scout team, and I said, guys, y'all playing for a job opportunity. You know, we have some guys over there that are pretty good players. So we asked them to give us the look that they would want to be given if they were, you know, on the opposite side of the ball. And I respect them a lot because those guys don't have to do that. You know, they come out there and work their butt off all day, do the same exact things that we do. But at the end of the day, they know that they probably not going to be able to play in the game. So that's why when we go out there and play, we try to go out there and win big so they can get an opportunity to show how hard they didn't work through the whole season and the week of practice.
You're going to have to establish your running game in the first half, given you're not going to be playing to take a little heat off Sean.
No, we're going to play Florida State football because Sean is a great quarterback, and that's why Coach Fisher recruited him.
When you went into
When's the last time you missed a football game?
The last time?
Yeah, when's the last time you missed a football game?
My freshman year,
Freshman year? Ever for discipline?
I was a red shirt.
No problem.
The
Few more
Clemson game,
questions.
the Clemson game last year, I mean, that was the biggest game you'd ever played in, the biggest stadium. Do you tell anything to Sean as far as how to deal with an environment like that for the first time?
Well, he was there last year. You know, obviously he didn't get the opportunity to go out there and play. But I guarantee you, Sean is hungry. He wants this opportunity. You know, and God has blessed him. He put him out there, and he's gonna take advantage of his opportunity. But it's not about Sean. It's about us as a team. We Florida State. It's not one person can't change no game or no outcome. I can't go out there and win a football game. Florida State is gonna win a football game. I have to tone it down. I have to. You know, and that's all in the media, everything. I have to do that. But Florida State is gonna play Florida State football. One person don't win no football game. We are a great football team. Sean gonna go out there and do what he had to do. Our running backs gonna do what they gotta do. Our offensive linemen, they gonna block, and we gonna win a football game.
Last when you guys went to the Clemson baseball game, you obviously tweeted the picture of the stadium and said our house. Some of the players from the Clemson team had comments about that, saying, you know, you were a me guy, a selfish guy. Do you feel like you put pressure on your team to kind of really perform in this game when they come to your house this year?
Of course not. You know, because that was just me having fun with my baseball teammates. I actually was playing baseball at Clemson, so that just was a joke inside us. And the next day I went out to eat with Chad Kelly, the Clemson quarterback at the time, you know, and I got some friends on the Clemson football team. That just was a joke in between us players, but, you know, stuff can get blown out of proportion, make it seem like it's a bigger deal than what it was, but it's actually a competitive atmosphere. That's what we want, man. We need more football players wanting to compete. You know, if Clemson ain't going to come here and compete, we're not going to want to play them. If we don't go out there and compete, I mean, it's no reason for Clemson to want to play us. So it's all a competitive atmosphere. It's not. What I did yesterday, that was a selfish act, but that was about competitiveness because I'm a football player and I compete.
As Coach Fisher,
Last question.
ultimatums about any future bad behavior.
Okay.
He said, if you screw up again, is there any
That's all.
consequences?
Thanks, James. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.